And
Look, man, we're calling this a test for a reason.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So this is a test. Wow, it's only like a 7-second delay, so that's pretty good. So this is once again a test of the Commanderin streaming Huji Watsits, whatever it's called.
The emergency broadcast system?
Yeah, the emergency Commanderin broadcast system.
Oh
And
There,
boy.
now we've changed the logo because we have 4 people. We have a guest host and a guest tonight. And now we have this fancy logo right smack in the middle of all 4 of us, which you'll have to trust me, it's there. And yeah, so here it is. So I guess we can start the show. Is that what we do around these parts?
I mean, we probably should do it
So
eventually.
I guess so. So I'm Phil DeLuca.
I'm Shivam Putt.
I'm Olivia Gobert-Hicks.
I'm Brian Canada.
And tonight we are Commanderin.
Yay.
I should not laugh every single time, but I do.
Literally every single
you're
time.
going
It's been
to.
like 100 some odd episodes.
Yeah.
Every single time.
So at some point, viewers, when we look down, we're typically looking at our screens and trying to make eye contact with people who can't see us because we're all looking at glassy, staring eyes. So we put a spotlight on community issues, and you'll see that this episode, but never ever do we talk about 3 banned topics. I can't even keep a straight face. Religion,
3 bad topics until we do.
until we do. Religion, politics, and Hearthstone. There's nothing wrong with Hearthstone. We just
I
don't
don't
talk
play
about it.
any of those games.
Yeah, exactly, right? Well, unless you follow our Twitter.
Yeah, literally
stuff.
anywhere but this podcast.
Yeah. So thanks for watching, everybody, and listening if you're doing the audio-only podcast. We are streaming this right now, so for those of you coming in on the audio and you're like, what are they talking about? Well, it's because we're streaming. Brian, before the show, was asking how, besides submitting 5-minute videos that do deck techs, how he can help the show. And one of the things that we always like to tell people who ask us that is you should share the show. Click on the share button, and if you're in a podcast listening app or whatever they're called, there's a share button for the episode. You can go ahead and share the episode. Do whatever you want.
Throw your iPod at passerby.
Exactly.
Hand your phones to random homeless people.
Yes.
Whatever it takes.
But make sure the show is playing before you hand the device off.
I mean,
Because,
yeah.
or like ready to go, right? So,
Fair.
yeah. You can also go to YouTube where this will find a home, or our Twitch stream where this is right now. Right now. There are people watching this ostensibly.
I
And,
could host us.
and
Sorry.
what?
She can host us
Host
on
us
her
on
personal
Twitch,
Twitch
yeah.
stream.
On my channel.
Oh, sweet. You should. You have more viewers than we do.
I'm on it. I'm doing it.
I should do that, except I've got like 7 viewers, and they don't know that my stream is live.
Brian, how many viewers do you have? Because let's get them in here.
On Twitch,
Uh-oh. I just heard
I have,
something.
I have
You
never
heard
been on
Twitch's
Twitch.
ad. That's what it was. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I've never been on Twitch in my life.
Wrong.
You're there now.
Ta-da!
Yes.
All right. So, or you can visit us at patreon.com/commanderimtg or commanderimtg.com/donations, or go to the GoFundMe and visit there. Also, maybe by the time this is YouTube video, we might even have links to our T-shirts up that people who've been asking about it can click and buy. It'll be awesome. They are beautiful. So we have a wonderful show lined up for our viewers and our listeners this time around. And tonight we're talking to Brian Canada. Brian, you probably recognize as the Cure for the Common Game on YouTube. He's also Cure_game or something on Twitter. Is that right?
That's right, sir.
Yeah. And this episode is really a community spotlight because we saw Brian like last October and November when he only had 335 Commander decks built. And you can see behind him right now a selection of those decks, but actually not all of them because they continue going in front where the camera doesn't see. Plus, I know he has 2 on his desk.
I thought those were like boxes for like nuts and bolts and things. Like
Each one of those is a completed commander deck sleeved up and ready to play.
Yeah.
Oh my good gracious.
Is that crazy or what?
That is an earthquake death waiting to happen.
Yeah, he's in a geologically stable area though, so that should be fine.
Wow, those are so.
And
Now I'm looking at that picture. Like you, that's. It turns out Let's see, what is it? 400 decks times 400 cards is a lot of cards.
400 decks times 100 cards, you mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry. 400 decks times 100 cards.
It's like, wait a minute.
It
what is this
looks
for
like
right
a
now?
whole ton
Like,
of cards.
Yeah, that's
not
like
only is that a lot of cards, that's a lot of sleeves.
it's a lot
Oh
of soul
no!
rings.
Oh no!
wow, that's right.
Yeah.
Tell me you're not double sleeving all those things.
No, I double sleeve the. Okay, yeah, most of them are. I'm not going. Yeah.
Oh
No, that's
making me. It's making me itch a little.
Yeah. Do you not double sleeve the basics? Is that what's going on?
Exactly. I don't double sleeve the basics unless they are foil or full art or so.
But that's basically like all of them, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's bananas.
And so we'll get to Brian a little bit later, and of course now we have guest host Olivia Gobert-Hicks, not Gobert-Hicks as Jason Alt.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's.
Everybody thinks apparently.
Gobbert chicks.
No, it was.
I'm not going to
Something
make
new
fun of
every
your
time.
name. I am very sensitive
go
to
ahead.
making
I
fun of
mean-
names. That's not a thing I would do
Way
while
beyond
we are
that, my life.
recording.
So Olivia, tell us a little bit. Listeners might not, or viewers, I guess, might not have seen / heard the last 2 episodes, right?
Fair.
Yep. So tell them about you.
So, hi, I'm Olivia. I dress up like card art sometimes, and I am an enthusiastic Commander player. And I'm on Twitter a lot yelling stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
I
a
feel
really
like
succinct-
that's a Commanderin brand right there. Is on Twitter a lot, yelling stuff, and play Commander.
Here to
We're
help.
not quite at the all dressing up at cards yet, but close.
Yep.
It'll happen.
My costume is outside of this room. You remember
I
how
was gonna
elaborate
say,
my
Phil's got
costume.
an Angus. I mean,
I mean,
waiting on
it
you.
definitely looks like Angus McKenzie. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
your hair helps pull it off.
growing the beard out so that I can. Yeah, and I'll have extensions put in.
Cosplays
Yeah.
for everyone.
So thanks for
My
making. Sorry, your what?
my cosplay is the eyes from the Word of Command.
That is a smart costume. It's cheap, discounted, and everybody knows it.
Well, thank you both for coming on. And Brian, we've been trying to make this happen for quite some time. We even had a false start last week or the week before. Just before we went to Los Angeles, right? So,
Right.
So Brian, when did you get into Magic? Clearly something like 400 decks ago.
I started playing Magic in '94.
All right.
Oh, I
And-
started playing Magic in '94.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. And I
You're
found
old.
Commander. Yeah, oh yeah.
I was 9.
Why you got to do that? Actually, I mean, I was like 12, so it's not really.
See?
So
I
Brian,
was married with children
You
when
win.
I found Magic.
wow. So 1994, and then when did you find Commander?
There was an article on the Mothership website, and I thought it was about this weird format the judges played at Pro Tours, and I thought this is awesome. And so I built a deck and I took it to my LGS, and nobody knew what I was talking about.
Do you remember what that first deck was?
Oh, it was somewhere around the Time Spiral block. So
Whoa.
Dang, deep cut.
yeah. No, I don't remember, because the next week I actually built another deck and brought 2. I don't know what I was thinking everybody would have them. And we played the first Commander game here in town, and it drew a crowd. People were like, "What are these giant stacks of cards?"
That's amazing.
Yes, why is that card not in your deck, and why is it face up? And it was a blast. And that was the beginning of the local scene of Commander, and that was wild.
That's so cool.
That's super.
I mean, I've never met anybody who's literally ground floor for Commander. Like everybody I've seen who's played Commander has been like, oh yeah, I walked into a store or I saw someone play Commander and then I picked up and I joined or whatever. I've never seen anybody who's like, I brought 2 decks because nobody knew what I was talking about. Here is Commander. That's hardcore. That's hardcore. That's super cool. Do you remember what that second deck was?
No, they were both. Shoot, it's been so long ago. See, that was back in the old days when I used to take decks apart.
Oh my! How many decks? How many more decks could be on that wall?
Died?
I would build them and take them apart. I mean, that's pretty much the norm. But I don't take them apart now. No.
Yeah. What are you going to do when you run out of wall? Because you're close. I'm looking at that.
Well, actually, this is 2 blocks high. I made this shelving system here, for lack of a better term. Each one of these blocks holds 100 decks. They're 10 high and 10 wide.
What?
And I have 8 of these. I have 4 along the top and 4 along the bottom.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
And
because they're not stopping making Commander. I mean, they're making more Legends, it turns out.
No, I'm sorry. I have 6 along the top and 6 along the bottom.
Oh.
So that's
1,200
cards.
I have room for 1,200. Now, if we search, right now there's somewhere around 800-ish.
God, and I feel insane for having like 12.
Right? Like, I get past 5 and I start to get a little itchy, and I'm like,
yeah.
You win.
Like, I'm carrying around a Pelican case with 12 decks or so, and you've got yeah.
Like, I'm down to the point where it's like, if it doesn't fit in the quiver, I don't know that I want to do it.
That's nuts. I'm taking a break. I had to lean back from that. That's just incredible. Okay,
it's
wow.
daunting.
So are you at 400 now? I know that your 400th was pretty special for you, and we're going to talk about it on the show.
I am. My next deck I'll record will be 405.
Whoa.
And I would show it to you, but I knocked it off on the floor earlier.
Oh.
You didn't pick it up?
No. I have 406, though, that's going to be right beside it. That's Judith.
Oh, okay.
You're making Judith.
Do what, sir?
Okay, so let's stop for a second here. How do you come up with... Okay, so a set comes out and you pick all the legends out and decide you're going to build the decks out of those? Like, what set are you up to right now?
Well, it's not an exact science. I mean, because there was a lot of legends that came out before I actually started the quest, And so I'm still going back. I try to stay as current, relevant as possible because that's what my viewers want to see is the latest decks. But in between sets is when I really make ground.
So you're saying that people weren't really looking for that Joven Fair deck? Or like the Endrick Sar Thrall deck or whatever?
Hey, I really liked my Joven deck.
You do have a Joven deck?
Oh, yes, and Chandler.
You can't not have Joven and Chandler.
Yes, because they are legal. And my wife she says I need to do the illegal one. I told her nobody wants to play against Braids. So
nobody wants to play against her fellows.
Or Leopold.
But I want to play
on the CAG about Braids and Rafellas. I was like, hey guys, let's bring them back. And they were like, hey, do you want to still be on this? And I'm like, yes. Like, then you won't talk about Braids and Rafellas. I'm like, okay.
So we had Sheldon on where he talks about that, and it was a little less confrontational than the way Shivam is portraying it. But
the Discord chat's getting a little heated, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. So
like, what's that deck like directly behind your head? Just the one that's like red right behind you. I'm just curious. Yeah.
Trade right here?
Yeah.
Lovisa Cold Eyes.
Lovisa Cold Eyes.
Oh. Tell me you're using the good one from the dual decks. The good art that just came out again.
That being deck number 71, that was probably built years before that came out. So it's probably the original Cold Snap version.
Oh, so do you like build a deck and then not change any of the cards in it? Like you build it and store it good?
No, I do as there are times I go back and when something important happens for the deck, like we get another good giant, I'm going to go back and revisit Brian Stout Arm or something like that.
See,
But
that's
with,
what blows my
right.
mind is that you have the knowledge of saying, "Oh, well, this card came out from this set. Let me
Yeah,
go back to deck 76. This one
it's,
card can come out, and this one should go in."
but the cool reprint for Lovisa Cold, I believe went into Tribal
Put that away,
Barbarian.
Phil. Nobody wants to
Was
see
it?
that.
Oh, Aaron the Relentless.
I love Aaron the Relentless.
Do you know? Look at that card one more time and tell me it doesn't look like Axl Rose.
It does. It looks just like Axl Rose.
Like
Here,
Axl Rose back in
You
the
know,
80s.
young Axl Rose.
Yes, back in the 80s.
When
Welcome
he had the
to.
Oh, I want to
do-rag.
make small and put roses all over it.
Oh God, no.
I am actually building a theme deck, Axelrod Gunnarsson from Legends. And because he looks like he's playing the air guitar,
Oh my God.
and every card in the deck is a song title or an album title.
That's a cool.
Yeah, that's
a
really
cool
awesome.
trick.
Phil, you can't show cards like that because I'm going to start yelling about them, and I don't want to speak over our guest.
sorry, I was.
Yeah, that makes for bad audio, Phil.
I just
I
knew
saw
I had.
Zerillion. I saw my buddy.
Yeah, I just knew I had Aaron the Relentless and Joven and Chandler all hanging out together. In fact,
Motley Crue.
I mean, better red than dead.
and who
Nailed it.
who doesn't have Aaron the Relentless and all of those guys just hanging out?
That's
I'm an
right.
Ishan Shade guy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So wait,
Tribal Shade.
Tribal Shades. That's a good idea. You put the one from Dominaria in there too. So if you're going to like a store or something, how do you know what you're going to play? You've got literally everything.
Generally, what I do is I have, believe it or not, I have a pet deck. I will generally always
Believe
take, I'll take Zuberi with me, and then I will look up here and go, I hadn't played that one in a while, or I don't even remember what that one does. Let's get it. This past week, we actually played here in this room. We normally play somewhere else, but my buddies came over and we played here, and we die rolled.
That's awesome. So what, you roll like 3d10 and just pick the number or whatever?
You got to roll a four-sider first to get which block of 100 you're picking from.
Oh, that's cool.
Then
Yep.
you roll
Okay.
a D10 for the column and a D10 for the deck.
Yes, I love every part of this.
So
See,
I'm actually working on some gameplay. I haven't actually shot any, but I've made some tech here in the room to where I can shoot it, and we're going to video the actual rolling of the decks.
oh, that's
and,
rad.
Yeah.
So do you have like a system to keep track of what deck is where, or is it just like space?
They are in numerical order when I started. The very first deck here is deck number 1. So each one of these blocks is 1 through 100, 101 through 200. It's just, no, they're not, like you can tell when a set comes out, like all of the Amonkhet gods are pretty close together because I built them shotgun,
Yeah.
But now, like, I'm still not done with Dominaria because Dominaria had 44 legends.
Yeah. I mean, I keep finding that because I was
That's right,
looking
they
for
have
a
the
card to.
uncommons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, dude, I was looking for cards to put into some decks, and I'm like, I didn't even remember that they had the vampire legend that was in there, or
Arvad?
like not Arvad, the other one, the one that's mono black with a
Khazarov.
red activated ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they had like the shade legend, and then just like the Jinn who's got his little lamp, and I was like, how many of these things are there? So many legends.
There are 42 in the set proper. There is one buy a box, and then there is one in the Planeswalker deck.
That's right.
Oh yeah, his daughter.
Nyambi.
Jeez, that's a ton of decks, man.
And do you have decks for each of them?
I do. I think I'm probably 3 decks away from having Dominaria. I don't remember which 3 they are.
Goodness gracious me.
I have a spreadsheet that I have made up to just
track?
The first thing I have to do is I have to own the legend. I've got to get the card and then build the deck and then film the deck. So it's a pretty involved Excel spreadsheet to keep track.
Now, all of us are commander players. We all build decks a lot. And you know that when you're building a deck, even for just one legend, you have to spend a lot of time, get a pile of cards, think about what you're going to do, pare them down, do all the rigmarole. When you've got 400 decks, like, how much time and effort are you putting into each of these decks?
You build them one at a time. You can't. It's easy to get starry eyed, but I build one at a time, and I do the best I can with that deck. And when I'm done with, I've got over here on the bottom. I have I don't know. There's probably 50 or so decks that are in various stages of completion, but until I get it right exactly how I want it, which it doesn't mean it's always good, and they're hardly ever competitive, but just how I want it.
At least playable, right?
Exactly, yeah. And while playable may be I'm a big theme deck guy. Barktooth Warbeard is every card in there has a guy with a beard.
Well, I mean, when you're trying to build 400 decks, you have to differentiate them somehow, right? You can't just be like, here's a bunch of vanilla tutus that are in this color. Happy birthday.
Exactly. That's why my Ixodor deck is, I guarantee you, the only one like it on the planet.
Oh?
All cards start with the letter I.
Yep, definitely.
Our friend Bradley Rose might do a deck like that because he's got a deck that's all alliteration based. So every card in the deck, the entire thing every card has two names and they're alliterative in the entire deck. It's crazy.
And I thought I was going off the rails for making like a Liliana flavor deck that actually ended up kind of good. But
I have a bunch of soldiers in a pile.
Her art of flavor text that mentioned Liliana Vess or Liliana in the name of the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, no, we're going to go like triple level.
Now,
Tell us more about your favorite deck.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, Phil, you.
No, that was it.
What is your first deck? What is your number one over there?
His favorite
I just
deck.
need to know.
Don't tell him.
That's a teaser at the end.
Attracts a super friend, Shivam.
Thank you.
Which I have a feeling is going to change a lot in the coming months.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So,
Zuberi Golden Feather is kind of my pet deck. I am a big fan of Tribal, and you just don't see griffins out in the wild. Well, I know that sounds weird, but people.
You're correct.
You don't actually. It's a good point.
Yeah, for the audio listeners at home, Zuberi Golden Feather is a 3/3 for 4 and a white. It's a summon legend. Probably is a griffin in the Oracle text. It's got flying, and all other griffins get +1/+1. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't remember that many griffins in Magic. But I'm sure there's a lot of just random uncommons or commons that give your dude extra flying or something. But they are also like Pegasi and things like.
What is extra flying?
As in, like, if you attack with this guy, you can bring a friend.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Extra fly.
Or horsemanship is what I thought you meant.
Horsemanship is so.
Horsemanship is the best.
Yeah.
Well, they'll bring it back.
All right, so this is Zuberi Golden Feather, and what's the strategy for Zuberi? Your Zuberi deck specifically.
Well,
it's just tribal, right?
Are there a lot of other Zuberi decks you've run into, Phil?
Yes.
It's a quite deep strategy here. I'm going to play dudes, and I'm going to turn them sideways.
Yeah. See, that's a strategy after my own heart here. I understand and I believe in that strategy.
And
sometimes it's like an underappreciated, underplayed strategy that like you actually can turn cards side.
I'm a believer in the combat zone.
Yes, and the fact that when you sit down at a table, Zuberi Golden Feather, you are automatic because there is no powerhouse deck with you are automatically under the radar of everybody at the table.
Like everybody, Griffins get +1/+1. Have fun with that. We're here.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody realizes I have like 15 anthems in the deck.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Those Griffins are going to get big.
And you get changelings too, so you have all kinds of spicy stuff.
Yeah, so let's see what's in here.
So what are your 3 most flavorful cards?
Well, obviously Griffin Canyon, simply because it's
It is
Griffin.
the most appropriate card for this deck.
Exactly, weirdly enough, on the list. But Sarah Aviary from Homeland is probably a little bit overcosted, but
So
it
Griffin
actually.
Canyon, if I may,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Griffin Canyon's a land, tap for a colorless mana, or tap to untap target Griffin, and that Griffin gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Untapping target Griffin is pretty baller. That's great.
Are
Yes,
you
it is.
are you tapping them?
Yes, tapping to attack
Got it.
until I get some version of vigilance granting out there.
And Sarah Aviary is an enchant world because it's got to be an enchant world from Homelands for 3 and a white, which says all creatures with flying get +1/+1. That's also, I believe, the new +1 for the Sarah Planeswalker.
Yes, it is, and that enchant world part matters.
Yeah, because
Because
eat it, Concordant Crossroads.
Yep, Concordant Crossroads, and my buddy Danny will bust out with neither Void or Abyss, and so
The Abyss.
Right.
That's just not nice.
And so
That's
this
not
is
nice at all.
this is disenchant plus the anthem.
yeah, from Homelands. There you go.
Hey, man, you're digging deep. You might as well go all the way home, right?
Right.
There you go.
So yeah, so you have anthems, and then you have the onboard trick of, oh, you're attacking me. Well, here's pseudo vigilance and a little bit of toughness. What are the most effective cards in the deck for this strategy of Griffin Tribal?
Well, it's hard to beat Crackdown. Non-white creatures with power 3 or greater don't untap. So,
Oh, what?
yes.
Shivam, let me read it for you. Crackdown is an enchantment for 3. It's 2 and a white. Non-white creatures with power 3 or greater don't untap during their controller's untap steps.
No,
Why don't I have this in my deck?
we're not playing
Right?
this card
Yeah.
because I got a lot of
Yes, we
non-white
are.
creatures. No, we're not.
Oh, well, so Tajik is looking for a new pal. All I'm saying.
Indeed.
Wow.
That's it. It's a brutal card, and in Griffins, it's also great with Angels or Soldiers or any white. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No.
that's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Gross, dude.
Nowhere near as nasty as True Conviction, though.
True Conviction. It's an enchantment for 3 and 3 white. Creatures you control have double strike and lifelink.
It's a beating.
That's that's a game ender right there, right? Like you alpha strike and just
Oh, yeah. You pull out so far ahead with the lifelink and the damage. It's
and
just.
double strike plus lifelink. So it's like
Yeah.
It's lovely
just-
in Saskia too.
that's gross.
Do you play it
Yes.
in Saskia?
It's
Oh,
in
of
my
course you
stack.
do, yeah. Because
It's-
then Saskia gets 2 triggers off of that.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh yuck.
Yep.
It's tasty.
A Chroma's Memorial is probably it's probably the most mainstream card in the deck, but it's super effective.
I love that card.
Yes, it grants everything you want, you get.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I try to
If
use
you
that.
haven't yet had the oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Sorry.
No, you.
I was going to say, if you haven't yet had the misfortune of playing against a Memorial, it is a legendary artifact for 7. Creatures you control have flying, first strike, vigilance, trample, haste, and protection from red and black.
Everybody becomes a chroma.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, I put it in the soldiers. It comes out. All of my soldiers are suddenly.
They're all super soldiers.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's like you need to end games, and when you're playing white creatures and you're playing token creatures and you're playing just anything small aggro decks, this is like one of the few ways that Magic gives us to be able to alpha strike through and just actually end and be
Indeed.
like, this. You just need to go away.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring my fist to your face. They're going to have a meeting. It's going to end badly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'd say those are effective. Now, do you have any? The last category here for Zuberi, at least, is 3 signature cards, all your own, like cards that you think that maybe other Zuberi decks won't be playing these.
There's some great decks.
I love the new Unbreakable formation.
Oh yes,
What does that do?
yes.
Unbreakable Formation is an instant for 2 and a white. Creatures you control gain indestructible until the end of turn. It has an addendum. If you cast this spell during your main phase, put a 1/1 counter on each of those creatures, and they gain vigilance until the end of the turn.
Oh, I love that card.
Oh my.
What more do you want? It's anti-board wipe, and it's pump in if you just got to have it.
I want to cry.
Dude, this card makes me... When I saw this card, it's like my Soldier's deck was missing the one card that'll make us indestructible and also win. This is like just baller.
Yes,
It's like Boros Charm, but better.
Yeah.
Much better.
For 1 extra mana, too, and that's it.
I have another card for your Soldier deck, Shivam. Armored Ascension.
Armored Ascension, an enchantment aura for 3 and a white. It is enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets 1/1 for each planes you control and has flying.
Wow.
I have a problem crushing on this card. I'll be on a X, and that I have built quite a few of them. It's easy to slap an Armored Ascension on your and just win that way.
Oh my goodness.
You could just Voltron in and just be like, here we go.
In one card.
Yeah.
Oh,
my.
That's real gross.
I need to write this. I need to write something down.
Like, I want to put that into Rafik.
Well, we have
like
the show plan.
My pretend Rafik deck, and this is going to... oh, that's yucky. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
But probably
yesterday.
My favorite trick in the deck is Blinding Light.
Oh, this card is great.
Yes, it is.
Blinding Light is a sorcery for 2 and a white. Tap all non-white creatures.
Yep.
Alpha Strike?
Simple.
Absolutely.
Nasty. Great.
Not only, because we play a multiplayer format, not only is this my moment to Alpha Strike, but if I can't quite get the job done, whoever after me is going to also have free reign on the other players. So, in theory, you just fall like dominoes.
Is that because you have, at that point, you probably have a Vigilance card out?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
I love every part of this.
Shivam has so many feels right now. If y'all
this is making me so happy. This is making me so happy.
And it's a tribe that is unsung. It's not. It doesn't get a lot of love. It doesn't get a lot of support. It doesn't get a lot of recognition. That's why I love.
Unsung, it's unknown.
Yeah, I'm like,
I didn't know there were
are there more
cards.
than 4 Griffins in Magic?
Yes, there are 20 some odd Griffins.
Yeah, there's a lot of Griffins.
Well, I mean, there have been 26,000 cards. I guess you can have 20 Griffins.
Just give them the Griffins.
Yeah, this is the second Zuberi deck I've ever seen, actually. And my old meta with Tom Smith, he named his son Griffin. And so he built a commander deck using Zuberi. And, of course, it's the deck he gives to his son because it's all my creatures fly. Yeah, and you turn them sideways and attack with them. Even a 5-year-old can do it. And yeah, that's why I do it. Because anyway, because I'm basically 5.
I approve. That's a really cute story.
Shivam has a story?
Indeed.
No, I'm just thinking about Armored Ascension. Because there's this green card I saw that turns all your basic lands to have every basic land type, which means your entire table of basics is now also plains.
Prismatic Omen.
Oh my goodness gracious! Do I now want to? Because I've been building that Enchantress deck like for a month now.
Yeah,
and it's turning into this auras and smashy deck, and this is auras. And if I stick that green thing in there, it's like Super Saiyan. Just your hair turns blonde and you just run crazy town. Oh my god, dude, this is so cool.
Well, the Prismatic Omen will help the deck flow better anyway.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Prismatic Omen, that's good.
This is rad, dude. This is
all right.
So why do you like this deck?
Because
it's so different.
It is so different. I have never run into. I live here in Tennessee, and my job takes me to neighboring states. I've never seen another Zuberi deck.
That's way cool.
I don't doubt that one bit. That 100% checks out at no point in time. I didn't know it was a card until today.
Yeah, like I know. Yeah, dude. I'm just like I'm in awe of just the randomness in this deck. It seems so.
Yeah,
This is the kind of stuff that I play Commander for. I'm not gonna lie. I love it when people pull out just like,
Thank you.
here's
Me too.
my, deck of things that you've never heard of or never imagined. It's like, here's my tribal slimes deck, and I'm like,
This is a legendary.
that's
Yeah.
that's cool.
yeah.
Where did that come from?
I'll text my friend Tom and see if he can't either get a list up for his Zuberi deck or even just meet you somewhere. To
Oh, awesome.
Zuberi v Zuberi,
Fly!
a match of the ages.
By the way, Shivam, I did just build Tribal Ooze It. It's 390 something.
With what? With Vanifar?
No, Vanifar was straight Vanifar. Tribal Oozes was Experiment Courage.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, nice. Did you
Oh,
use the
God.
ooze that just came out?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Well,
I had to.
Biogenic Ooze is the business, right?
That's the one by Jack.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you have like a list somewhere of all of your decks and what they, like a spreadsheet or
he has a spreadsheet. Yeah.
a Google
Yeah.
Docs that is shared that we can see
Shivam wants
what
to
your decks
peruse,
are?
I think.
I don't, but you know what? That's a good idea. A lot of my viewers see. I've got the closest thing I've got is the YouTube channel to where all of the videos are listed thus far.
Like, because I think it would be super sick if you had like a Google Doc that had just, I don't know, 400 tabs on it. Then you could just go like, maybe not 400 or like 3 Google Docs or something to stop them from being super laggy. And then you could just put like deck list, deck list, deck list.
Well, I do
Or put
list
them on
all.
tapped out or what deck set.
Well, I started off with around deck number 200 ish because people want a deck list. So I started doing deck list. And then I realized after I had gotten, oh gosh, a couple hundred decks almost in tapped out that tapped out EDH Rec does not scrape tapped out.
But
So-
tapped out will let you export your decks as text files that you can then import to
Oh.
deck stats.
Right.
That's what I did when I moved all my decks from tapped out to deck stats for the Commander thing. When I put all my decks to the Commander folder, is that at tapped out and deck stats, both of them will let you export your decks into a text file,
Yep.
and it will put you into a format that you can copy paste into the other one, no problem.
Yep.
That's what I use my scanning app. I have Delver and it'll just
Yeah.
let you export as like a CSV or a text file.
Exactly. That way you don't need to redo all that work.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple hundred decks I haven't even listed, but the
I'm
beautiful
exhausted
part.
just thinking about it.
Yeah.
The
Honestly.
beautiful part about deck stats is there's that button at the bottom that says add these cards to the collection. So I've been doing that with every deck that I list so that I'll actually have an inventory of every card that's up here on this wall
Yeah.
when I get done.
Yep.
That's a number I may be scared to know.
I'm
Wow.
really, really curious though. Like, do you know how many soul rings you have? Or
No.
like where
Not-
do you go and like
406. There's all of his decks.
I'm just curious, like, do you go to like Card Kingdom and say, like, okay guys, I need 758 soul rings?
All of these do not have soul rings because I firmly believe, well, some of them I just didn't have a soul ring when I was building, and some of them, and this is going to sound shocking, some of these decks don't want a soul ring.
That's fair.
I mean, to be fair, my Titania deck doesn't want soul ring either, because like
Right.
My
I'm gonna be
Paramount
land ramped all
Enchantress
day
deck does
long.
not
It's like,
want-
who cares?
I did go to Grand Prix Memphis a couple weeks ago, and there was 7 vendors in the room. And when I left, there was 0 soul. Well, okay, there was a soul ring in there. It was the beta.
Right?
It's like,
That's staying there.
yes,
Like
that's
mortgage
dead.
payment, Beta Soul Ring.
But I did manage to pick up 37 soul rings while I was there that day.
So you buy your soul rings in bulk, is what you're saying.
I'm
Or
guessing there's a lot of lightning greaves up in there. Like, what do you think is what's your card that you go to most when you're doing a deck build? Like, is there any particular cards that you like fall back on, or like most of my decks are going to end up with this in it somewhere? Like, do you have
Yes.
staples?
I did buy 500 of a single card.
What was it?
Rogue's Passage.
Okay.
Ooh,
It's a weird story. I went to the binder because I was like, I need a Rogue's Passage. I'm building a commander damage Matt, I want to get in there with my commander. I need a Rogue's Passage. I went to the binder, grabbed the last one out, and I went, this is my last Rogue's Passage. So I went I went to TCG Player, and I said, well, how much can they be? They were they were 3 cents.
Oh.
Rogue's Passage.
Yeah, buy 500 of them. Why not?
So I started doing the math, and I'm like, well, free shipping is this, and does anybody? He's got that many. So I bought them. I bought 500 of them, had them shipped, didn't think anything about it till the next day.
A pallet shows up.
I was in the shower, and I was like, oh my gosh. I just took 500 copies of a single card off the market.
Yeah, but
think about how many you have sitting behind you of just cards that are not on the market.
I think Rogue's Passage now are worth like a whole dime.
Yeah, you've tripled your money.
Influencing the market.
I've affected the world. Rogue's Passage.
Hashtag MTG Finance up in here now.
Yeah. I wish.
Except I'm never going to sell them.
Well, yeah. Right.
Yeah, but do let us know the next time you're going to buy 500 copies of a card, because we could make a penny
Please believe.
off of that.
Oh my gracious!
Start getting wild with the Traxxas or Lightning Greaves or something like that.
Now, we had you on in part because you said there is a special deck that you built, number 400. It was a milestone for you, plus it had some personal connection to you. What's the deck that we're talking about?
The deck is Jace, Vryn's Prodigy is the commander. And it is I hate to use the word tribal, but we're going to say tribal Jace deck.
I'm hell
I'm
bent
okay.
on making a tribal
I can get
one
behind
day.
that.
I get it.
Every single card either is Jace, is his possessive, like his
Jace's
familiar,
line.
right? Or he is in the flavor text, or he is in the art.
This is what I did with my Liliana Heretical Healer. The exact same thing. Everything has Liliana in it somewhere.
But I've got one up on you, Liv. The
Kill
base.
Surprise. You have 400 decks, of course you do.
Yeah. He has like 406 decks up on you.
He has 388 one-ups on me. But
There you go.
It.
You have 18 decks?
The islands.
The islands from Ixalan
Oh no!
have lost Jace in them.
Of course they do. So all your islands have Jace.
Right. I have actually been building this deck for over 6 years.
Incredible.
Oh, MFG.
All the Jace lands.
I didn't know what I was going to do for the basics until Ixalan came out, and I lost my mind, and I went, this is the answer. Yeah.
Allison is going to be so happy.
100% Jace.
Oh
It is
my god. Are you kidding me?
And do you know why?
I'm in awe.
No, why?
6 years ago, can I tell you a little story?
Go right ahead.
We're going to go back further than that. From 2008 to 2010, I had a little game shop here, and life circumstances happened, and I had to move away from it. But while I had that, my daughter, I have 4 children, 2 of which are grown, but my daughter met the person that is now her husband in my game shop.
Oh, cool.
Of course, they are married, and they now have a child, my grandson, and they named him Jace.
There it is.
That's awesome.
That's grandbaby baby Yache.
Yes, baby Jace. And so I started building it. It's actually been longer than, because he turned 6 in January, so it's been longer than 6 years. And I have
that set of Ixalan lands must have just been like,
oh, exactly, right. And
Yeah.
it's it means a lot. And something else that's just happened this past week, when I said we played, obviously my son-in-law also plays Magic. All my kids, my wife, my mother-in-law, we all play.
That's awesome, by the way.
Really?
Oh yes, my mother-in-law, she is, if she can run Bolas, she's running it. whatever she's playing, there's going to be black mana and bolus in it. That's just how she operates, and she is wrong.
Not the bolus, but the black man. I'm here for it.
It's so
That's
funny.
amazing.
It's so funny.
My son-in-law.
Sorry,
My son-in-law. I built the deck. I recorded it. Actually, did the deck take video with my daughter. The first time I've ever actually had a guest host on there doing it, but I figured it fit the flavor. You know, she's a large part of that story. And the very first time the deck got played, it was by my son last week.
That's rad.
Yeah, it would have done well if somebody
Wasn't playing Zuberi. What's the name?
hadn't put 108 counters on the Helix Pinnacle.
That'll do it.
Well, who did that?
I don't know. So
Yeah, gosh. Somebody ought to talk to that guy.
So the first time that deck is being played, perhaps by somebody who has an emotional attachment to it, somebody else who may have built that deck crushes it with a Helix Pinnacle.
Because that's what Grandpa's for.
Yes. Oh.
I mean, let's be fair. It is a Jace deck.
I was telling him before the game, I said, all right, so this is not like a super aggro deck. I think there's only entire deck. I said, most of the deck is counter spells. And he looks at me and he says, Jace is 6 years old. You think I don't spend most of my day telling him no?
Aw.
And I said, you know what? It's
I
flavor.
approve.
Pure flavor. 100%.
Oh, man.
So the strategy is it's themed.
It is.
Am I reading this right? You have one Rampy card? Like one?
There's only one.
Soul Ring?
No, Soul Ring is not
Ring doesn't have
Jace.
Jace on it.
Right.
Right.
It's the Hedron Archive.
All right.
If you want to count a 4-mana Ruckus Ramp.
Well, so this
Do what
deck,
you got to do.
And it gets you mana.
this deck is bad.
Well,
Look, man, story equity goes a long way.
Deck.
I can tell you it's never won a game.
No,
My Lily deck was trash for the same reason, and I have absolutely cleared tables with it. So
I'm working on Lily.
No, I mean, when I say bad, I mean, of course, I mean, it's thematic and stuff like that. It's just never, like, if it wins a game, it's because everybody else had a terrible time.
Exactly.
That's cool. But it does have 19 card draw cards.
What's Jace do?
oh, it's blue. Blue's
Yeah.
card draw.
It's Jace.
Weird. Why would you have that?
It's true. It's true.
Did you find all those draw spells?
You did say it had 9 creatures, so we have that. And then
And
30.
they're all Jace.
Why do you have 39 lands, though?
Because my options are somewhat limited.
Oh, yeah, I guess you got to
Also,
fill it with
the only
something.
ramp card he has is 4.
Right. And I figure this is a deck that I will have to keep updating, especially if they come out with more creatures.
Luckily for you, there's always going to be more Jace.
Exactly. He's their Mickey Mouse, so I mean they're going to keep printing Jace for a while.
You must have been so happy when the Jace's spellbook came out.
Oh, all 9 cards are in there. I bought or 8 cards.
No, that's nice.
8.
Whatever
8
it
and
is.
1 foil.
Yeah.
8
Right. Yeah. I bought 9 of them, hoping to get a foil of each one.
To try and get each one of them as a foil.
Right. As it turned out, I didn't get the counterspell, but the one I got doubles of was the one that's banned in Command. But I do have a sealed one still up there.
Gifts Ungiven.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
It took me a second. I'm like, which one in there is banned?
Yeah, because
Oh, right.
I don't have a Jace's spellbook. I did not pick that up. So I didn't know
I
what
pick
card
up
was in
everything.
it.
I'm
Yeah,
just
of
that
course.
guy. What do you want?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I bought 9. I bought 9 of them because nobody at my LGS was.
Yeah, and they're all cheap too. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my place that normally like puts a markup on stuff was selling them at MSRP, so I still have most.
Yeah. So what are the 3 most flavorful cards in this Jace deck?
Well, obviously the very, very first Jace Beleren.
Of course.
I mean, This is the first time we saw him. We saw him in Lorwyn, and shoot, that was back when they were rares, wasn't it? Of course.
Mm-hmm.
This version here that we are is the actual signature, and it's kind of thematic and meaningful because this card is referred to as Baby Jace.
Yeah, because he's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, I always thought Jace Vryn's Prodigy was Baby Jace because it's literally like young Jace.
Oh yeah. Well,
they used to call the original Baby Jace until Vryn's
Prodigy.
Prodigy.
That was before my time, so there you go.
Now we have an actual Baby Jace.
Yes, we do.
So Jace Beleren, of course. Is that another Jace I see?
Why, yes, it is.
I'm going to guess that there's a whole ton of Jaces in here.
So so the three most flavorful cards are Jace Beleren, Jace the Mind Sculptor, and Jace Memory Adept. And
I have a story about the Mind Sculptor.
Okay.
Oh?
The entire family has known I have been using this deck for years. Now, this past year, Father's Day or birthday or something, my oldest son, he comes in there and he says, "Dad, it was birthday. I got your birthday present." And he hands me an envelope. And I open it up and I about lose my mind. Jace the Mind Sculptor. And my birthday was in April, and I said, son, tell me you've had this, that you bought this 2 months ago. Tell me you bought this before they unbanned it in Modern. And he said, "No, I bought it last week."
Oh, no.
I was like, oh my God, I know what he paid for this.
Oh, no.
Wow.
So he got me, because that was a card I was kind of resigned to. This is going to be the last card I need for the deck because it'll be the most expensive one.
Because it's JTMS, man. That card's like $1 billion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I squealed like a kid and give him a hug. Of course, now this is my oldest son, and he stands probably 7-8 inches taller than I am. He's huge. He's a monster. And yeah.
Exactly. Like, oh, my lower lumbar.
All right. And so then you've got we do need to move along. We're at an incredible recording time so far. So what are the three most effective cards in the deck? I mean, they must stand out, right?
Right, of course. Omniscience. It doesn't get any better or any more Jace than that.
Right.
Sphinx's tutelage actually provides you with and somewhat of a win condition, which is kind of few and far between in this deck.
I mean, you can attack someone with Vryn's Prodigy a lot.
And then Jace's Sanctum is going to make, obviously, your spells cost cheaper, and because we are playing Jace themed, they're mostly instants and sorceries in the deck.
Yeah,
Sphinx's tutelage is a great card.
Yeah, and I guess if you're drawing enough cards with this deck, then
you can go milt it.
Yeah, you'll mill somebody. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that could be real fun.
Huh. And what are the three signature cards, all your own, that probably other people aren't using?
Well, I know you're laughing because there's an island on there, but it's that specific Jace island.
Oh, yes.
Look, I love basic lands. Basic lands are my jam. Every deck I have, specific custom pick basic. So I totally feel you on this. This island is the one I'm using.
Yes. Now, I don't do that in every deck because that's too much of a time constraint for me. But on this one, I did. And Tammy O's journal. I've abbreviated her name forever now. It's
a great card.
Yes, it is. And I love the flavor behind. Did you know about the entry numbers?
The entry numbers.
Yes. There are 4 or 5 different entry numbers. They actually changed this card. Entry number, they're different. There's 4 different.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And they all say the same thing. And I think that was part of the...
It's because Emrakul is messing with your head.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was real cool.
And then the Hedron Archive I have in there simply because it is the sole card.
You know,
Yes, of
the
course.
one mono rock with Jace on it.
Yeah.
I
Of
never even
course.
realized he was in the background of the picture until I'm like, oh, that is Jace.
hmm
That's cute.
So, what are the three most surprising cards that you got from playing this?
The signature spellbook gave us a lot of cards that are actually that don't have normal Jace in it. The mystical tutor, super valuable because of the amount of stuff it can go get, and he is in this art. So
Oh yeah,
uh,
look at that. That's nice.
the same way with the brainstorm, and I love how just the magic glows through him.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm partial. I don't know. And then mind control, because let's face it, if we don't have a lot of creatures, I'll just steal the best one out there.
Oh, and
Oh,
that's Jace.
The promo mind control, it has a by Jace. Indeed, it does.
yeah, that was the one from wasn't that like one of the pre-releases or an F&M card or something like that? I have
That
one of
was,
these for some reason.
I think that was a WPN promo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think I got it out of a grab bag. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's cool. Wow, what a deck, man. This is just insane to me. Like, by the way, just here's casually 4 million decks. But these decks are really cool and stuff. I mean, oh god, I want to ask you about I want to know what your Titania deck is like. Or so what do you think is the commander that you want? Like, what is the next on your list as a commander that you're most eager to try to build that you haven't yet?
Right now on the table, I am.
Oh, hold on a second. We're having a technical issue that we would not ordinarily have. Olivia disconnected and she's reconnecting now.
Yeah, I did see the swirly.
Yeah. Look at the excitement the streamers get. I mean,
This is cool. I mean, I'm impressed that it's working with 4 people.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's still a test. So listeners, you'll hear us refer to that because we're trying to get used to regular streaming. And I'm learning a bit more about the tech since I have the control panel as we go. Like in the future, when we're talking about so many cards, we'll have them start appearing on the screen. It's one of the reasons that the Commanderin logo is in the center of all of us right now. Yeah, and you guys will see it on the stream itself. And let's see what's going on here.
I love these. So I'm just really curious, like, I guess we should wait till Olivia comes back.
Well, no, go ahead. We'll catch her up.
Well, basically, I wanted to ask you how you decided to do this. Like,
Well-
it's one thing for us to just sit there and say, okay, I'm going to build a couple of commander decks, but you have built commander decks. Right?
Well, the goal is to build them all, and how I got to that goal was I was at my local game shop when I cannot remember the set that came out, but I had 2 legends there I was looking at, and I was going to have to buy them, and I went. Now, keep in mind at this point in time, probably 50-ish decks deep, and my buddy walks up and he says, "What's up?" And I said, "I don't know which." And he says, "Does it matter? You're going to build them all."
Oh,
Huh.
famous last words right there.
That's very
know?
funny.
I believe I will.
Wow. But I mean, still though, to have 50 decks, does that mean you were just building decks and hanging on to them, or
Yeah.
just not breaking them up? You're like, I'll build Endrick Star, I'll build Mishra, I'll build whatever.
I was doing like different styles, I would have, a couple for each color or each combination of colors. A lot of people see that's the gateway drug. I'm going to have one of each color.
Yeah.
Jar. Yeah, that's the gateway drug. That gets you to this.
That is a warning well heeded, my friend.
Yeah,
Like-
I think that is a pretty good warning, isn't it?
But I mean, some of these commanders are just terrible for commander, right? Like Kolagon
So-
in Fate in Dragons of Tarkir. Was like, if duplicates go to the graveyard, things happen.
He's a flying body. That's pretty much all he is.
She.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. But yeah, that ability doesn't. However, that ability has mattered game.
With the dash?
Shadowborn Apostle?
I play a lot of variants. We play Kingdoms? We play anything weird and different that we could play. And we were playing against the zombie horde.
Oh, that's a good one.
And my son played his Culligan, and as it turns out, the 2/2 zombie tokens all have the same name.
Oh.
It's like the only time it's ever going to matter. But you should have seen his eyes light up. He was, I think he was probably 13 at the time. He felt like he was 10 foot tall and bulletproof.
That's gross. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think we have an Olivia. Maybe she's gonna go through the standard Discord dance.
So, which deck up there haven't you played that you really, really want to play, but just haven't gotten around to? Like, I'm assuming you haven't played them all.
No, there's actually quite a few that I haven't, and some of them are simply because they're side more than I would like to be. Like Baral, I've never played Baral because we all know what Baral. We all know what it is, and I'll probably end up playing it by virtue of a dice roll, or actually playing again. But I think by the same token, I haven't played as Mira. There's several.
Oh yeah,
as Mira, Holy Avenger from Mirage, white green.
Of course.
It also helps because I have been playing so long. What is it, like 25
What
years
set
now?
did you start with?
The Dark.
Me too.
Oh,
that's cool.
I was revised, so just one set before, I think.
Yeah, I'm actually building 1994.
Oh, that's cool. That's like not old school, but like pseudo middle school.
Yeah, only cards that were printed in 94. And I've got to go digging through now actual revised swamps. That's all I need for the day. Yeah, is
a lot of Howl from Beyond in there.
I'm turning around. I'm sure I have some right here in this box that you can't see.
It's one of those vanilla legends. The red-black one. I can't remember. It saved my life right now. I've been on a Rakdos. Yeah, probably. I've been on a Rakdos kick. I think the past 8 or 9 decks I've been working on were red-black themed. Of course, when we get a set like Allegiance that helps us with a bunch more Rakdos cards, it kind of influences my deck building.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when something like the partner sets come out, like Battle Bond or Commander Partners, do you build the decks as partners, or do you build individual decks for each of them?
It depends on the card. I do have a few partners that are solo, but I do have Thrasios and Kydel.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean that's another deck I don't play a whole lot because it's
a gimme.
Yeah, it's head and shoulders above the rest. But now the Wonder Twins I'm still building.
Wait, you have a Thrasios and Kydeli deck? So you have the partners, but only for Simic?
Yes.
The busted ones.
Yeah. But because they're busted together.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
And the locked partners from Battle Bond, that's pretty much a split card as your commander. It takes up 2 card slots, but I mean you're not going to run one without the other.
No, you might as well.
Yeah, like Nazan and Nazan's Hammer. They were actually made into 2 cards because they wanted them to be one. Like they had Nazan with all of those abilities, and they had to split it and put a tutor effect in.
Like the Wonder Twins. I love the Wonder Twins. I will. War of the Spark will probably get me to finish the Wonder Twin.
Who are the Wonder Twins?
Will and Rowan Kenrith.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
those two.
I call them the Wonder Twins because that's how I'm going to build it as Is It Super Friends. Also, if you look, yeah,
But all your Jaces are already taken up. What are you
not
going
all
to do?
of them, not all of them, but if you look at Will and Tro and Kendrith, you can also, a lot of people are calling the Lannister twins.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, a little bit. Little bit.
Yeah, it's a little
But-
creepy.
Let's keep that one a little bit PG-er.
Yeah.
Well,
That's really
wow,
cool.
dude, this is incredible. And you just use like generic deck boxes to shove in there? Do you have like set tower? What's going on?
It is a very specific deck box, except for,
So you're breaking up, Brian.
I'm sorry.
You're breaking up. Your internet connection is stopping.
Like halfway through your sentence.
Yeah. So
Oh,
can you
wow.
start that over?
Yes. All of my deck boxes are the exact, except for one. It's a two-piece gaming box because they stack well. They're very durable, and they hold 100 double sleeve cards, which is the important thing.
You said Dragon Shield stack box?
No. Ultra Pro.
Oh, Ultra Pro.
It's a two-piece gaming box. Except for that one, because the wife's deck, she wants different, so she's got a big leather box. I can
What
move
does
the
she
camera.
play?
She plays Teriel. That's the angel that you tap to get a random creature from somebody's grave.
Oh,
Yeah.
the one that's the Mardu colors.
Yeah.
Yes.
With the spiky looking wings and everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
This
All
is
right.
bananas. This is like so cool.
This really is. And
But
Well,
it looks like
so we've pretty much we have got basically Brian to send us little 5-minute videos, and we've already seen 2 of those now for both Teza and Aurelia, and that's just like it's perfect to fit the theme. And Brian, if you want to, we would love it if you would keep doing that because it's just wonderful.
yeah, it's a lot of
Absolutely.
fun. They're really neat.
And listeners, if you haven't already, go back and take a look at Aurelia and Teza. Maybe on the YouTube version of this, we'll have the links in there in Olivia's place because Olivia's still cycling to come in. And listeners, then it'll be in our show notes, and we'll definitely include it in the page info. But go back, take a look at that, and what we do is we talk about the 5-minute video, and then we move on to the main theme. Like when Olivia first came on the show, we played your Teza. She kind of critiqued it, went over it, and then talked about her Teza, and it was pretty awesome. So thank you for doing that.
Hey, thank y'all for having me.
And I
No,
understand.
this is amazing.
Yeah, and I understand that your Aurelia deck was essential to the success of our friend Josh. I'm kidding.
Oh, it was.
No, I'm kidding. He I think he was recording it the very night that we recorded our show.
Oh.
From it. Yeah. But yeah, it was funny to see
I
that, to
enjoyed
hear
it.
you. Yeah. When you said, "Hey Josh," wait, "Hey Josh." I can't do your voice, but man, that was really cool. So, listeners and viewers, especially those of you still in our Twitch chat right now, thank you for joining us. We have really appreciated having Brian on and Olivia guest hosting, and hope you've enjoyed it too. So please take the time, contact us. We're on Twitter. We're on all the social medias at Commanderin MTG. You'll hear that in a moment. Maybe actually, I better do it live on Twitch, huh? And in the meantime, listeners, if you have any experience with a Zuberi deck or with Zuberi in a deck,
Please let us know.
please let us know. Yeah, tell us your stories. And remember, Brian is at cure_game on Twitter, and so be sure to tell him as well. So before we got right into this, so we didn't really talk about anything else, but I am now helping Ruben Bressler with the Broken Pact. If you like live play D&D with some Magic celebrities as well as some other streaming celebrities on there, that's it's a good show to watch. Take a look at it and let us both know what you think of it. I'm one of the writing team, as it were. So Let's see. So if you like what you just heard overall, please head over to patreon.com/CommanderInMTG or CommanderInMTG.com/donations. As my brain fails, so too does my ability to recall URLs.
We'll make sure the links are in the Twitch channel as well.
Yep. Yeah, well, we'll try to. I think next time what we'll have is little banners that'll come up if I can practice that enough. And special thanks, of course, to all of our patrons who've already joined us in donating. And we'll say hello to you individually next time. And I'm sorry that we didn't have it this time. So, Mr. Brian, Mr. Canada, how can people reach you? Obviously,
You can reach me on Twitter at Cure_game and at my YouTube channel, Cure for the Common Game. I have been, since January 1, I've been doing 100 Days of Magic. I'm making daily video content in addition to my deck techs. So,
in addition to?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's excellent. Yeah, I went over to your YouTube channel when you first came up in the community. And I watched a couple of your videos. And then, of course, when we were doing our videos and talking about them, I watched a few. They're very entertaining. I love the way you do them.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's important to me that I actually show the cards. I build decks, not lists.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really cool.
But our viewers will love lists.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah. I have deck lists with every episode now.
Excellent. And you do have Zuberi and Jace, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Because we'll put them up on our guest folder.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I just want to roll random dice and ask you what deck that is on your wall.
Okay. You want to do that once?
Yeah, let me do it once.
You remember, you need a D4, and then you can roll a D10 3 times. I have
twice.
What?
A D4 once.
Yeah. I was thinking 1,000. Oh, you're going to a digital die roller? You don't have dice with you?
I don't want to get up and pull it down. Oh, yes. You know what? I will.
That's part of the experience.
All right.
My dice bag.
All right. You're maintaining the cred.
I'm like, come on, man. I'm not gonna embarrass the family here. Okay.
Let no one question whether or not you are a true geek. Let no one question it.
D4.
Okay, so D4 went to 3.
Okay.
So you're in the third block.
And then
hold on,
my 2 D10s.
Yeah.
First one is 8. The second one is
we're in
7.
the 8th row. 8th row, 7th deck.
In the third block.
I've got to take my headphones off real quick.
Let's see what you got.
So now he's going up to this massive bank of decks. And
it is incredible.
Yeah, so listeners, you really got to check this out on video, and we'll post
he's literally
pictures.
Counting the decks as he goes along, and then counting up the grid
to 7
and pulling this thing out.
You were playing Evra.
That's the one that 4/4 lets you switch life totals or something.
Yeah.
Halcyon Witness.
Nice. Wow, that is so cool. Oh my god, that is so neat.
All right,
that is so neat.
I'm gonna do one, okay?
Yeah.
I failed my geek check though. Actually, Shivam, do another one because I failed my geek check.
Okay.
I left my dice in the other room.
All right. So Phil, you get 2 on the D4.
2.
Right here.
Your D10 is a 1, and then a 9.
Empress Galena.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good one. That would be a fun matchup.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah.
Wow.
I kind of want to.
That's so exciting.
I kind of want to go over to Brian's house now. Like
I
right
really,
now.
really do. Oh my god.
Yeah, Brian, we'll contact you off the air for your nearest airport, and Shivam and I will meet you there in the morning.
No problem.
Fly into Murfreesboro and just hang out.
And we know Olivia is good for buying plane tickets at the last minute. Oh, poor lady. So Brian, we have this tradition on Commanderin where our guest says the last word generally, and I don't know how it'll work on Twitch, but we say, Brian, would you take us out? And if you still have a web browser up, you can go to. Everything okay over there?
Yeah, I don't have a web browser up, so
All right.
I was hoping that.
So then you can just say anything you want. It's something snappy right at the end here. And Twitch viewers and all viewers, I guess, are getting this extemporaneous. Listeners, we generally edit this part out.
Okay. Mr. Sulu, take us out.
That's the second Star Trek reference.
I'm down with that.
All right.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for sticking with us. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah, Twitch and other viewers, thank you very much for hanging with us. And now I think it's going to be a tradition, Shivam, that I pull the katana lever.